Have you actually tried everything, or are you just saying that to make yourself feel better? Sorry, I should have kissed the brick before I threw it at you, but not today. That question has been on, I wanted to make this video since yesterday, but my voice is not coming back. And this question has been the question I've been asking myself for about 8 or 9 months now, as I have been on my journey. For context, I am on a weight loss journey. I've been on a weight loss journey for since I was 15 years old. It's not funny. But I have recently gained a lot of weight back, and so I'm now trying to lose that weight again. I said in my last video that I'm also working on removing trying from my vocabulary. I'm either doing or I'm not, period. I'm on a weight loss journey right now, and for the past year, I have not seen any weight loss, right? On the scale, I have not seen any weight drop. And I would get frustrated, like, oh my God, I'm doing everything. And then I eventually had to ask myself the question, have you really tried everything? Or are you just saying that to make yourself feel better? To make yourself, what's the word? To make yourself feel like it's okay to quit, right? And the answer was no. You know, I start and stop very often. I did not want to give up sugar. I did not want to give up gluten. I did not want to track that's not true, but I didn't stick with tracking my food. I also did not stick with a exercise plan for more than a month, and I would give up and be very frustrated. And so I wanted to pose that question to you. I wanted to say, because I often see that a lot in, the fitness gurus videos, right? In their comment section, there's always a woman who's like, I've tried everything. And it's like, but have you tried being consistent? Have you tried doing the things that you really don't want to do? And 9 times out of 10, the answer to that is no. And so for other contexts, right, I am posting on YouTube because I don't know what else to do to change my life. I am very frustrated with the current state of my life right now. And I've always believed that content is going to change my life. But it's just something about short form content that I can't get with. Like on Instagram, it's weird over there. It's weird. Like I saw girls, it was this morning, I literally saw a girl's account where every single one of her posts had over 50,000 views, and she only had less than 2,000 followers. And it was just like, it's so weird. It's so weird now that people can have that many views and comments and likes, but followers now just aren't the same as what they were. But followers aside, just community, just space where I feel like I'm not in a freaking rat race. And that's why I'm on YouTube right now. And so a lot of my content is about wellness, is going to be about personal development, spirituality, identity shifting, quantum leaping, so on and so forth. And so I'm really also getting into the habit of speaking. I've always wanted to speak. I've always wanted to be a public speaker, but how do you get better at something? You start speaking. Yeah, okay. And what I'm also doing is just getting to the habit of pressing record and going. So these videos are not going to be highly edited. They're not going to be edited at all, babe. I literally press record and then I upload it. Get it up there. Hello? Okay, cool. So back to the question. Have you really tried everything to change your life? And now I'm going to keep going back to the example of losing weight, because that's just the journey that I'm on right now. So I mentioned that before, I was like, babe, I'll do everything except give up my sweet treat. And I'm still learning about insulin resistance, and it's I don't even want to butcher what exactly it is, but in a sense that my cells are not taking in the insulin. All the insulin right now, all the glucose right now is just in my body. And so the fastest or the best way in order to become insulin sensitive is to significantly reduce your amount of sugar and your amount of carbs. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm actually 20 days clean. LOL, because that's really what it feels like. Is sugar is a drug. Sugar is the worst drug out there. So I'm 20 days off of sugar. I haven't really seen that much change, I'll be completely honest. Like, I feel like I've seen people go 30 days without sugar and they've like dropped 15 pounds. I'm like, but it's okay, because I'm still eating bread, I'm still eating carbs and stuff. Not crazy, but I'm still eating these things. So I guess I should. Now gluten, that's the thing, because I've tried some gluten-free products and them is nasty. Them is just very disgusting. So I don't really want to do that. However, which brings me to my next point. Going back to the question of, have you done everything? You've done everything except change who you are. Or I wrote this down. It's like I tried changing everything that I was doing without changing the person that I was being. So there's a reason why 9 out of 10 people who lose weight gain it back. And that is a real statistic. 9 out of 10 people who lose the weight gain it back. Why? Because if you are somebody who wants to lose weight and keep it off, you have to change at the level of your identity. What does that mean? When you're losing weight, the way that you think about weight loss, the way that you think about eating healthy and exercising is always like, I'm just doing this until I get to where I want to go. And I'll even say that's where I was as well. That's why I've gotten back to the situation, is that every time I've lost the weight, after I lost the weight, I stopped doing the things that got me to lose the weight. Why? Because I did not change myself at the level of identity. I thought, okay, I'm just gonna exercise until I lose the weight, or I'm just gonna eat like this. I'm gonna eat really strict until I lose the weight, and then I'll just go back to the way that I wanna eat. Well, and now we're back to the way that we used to look because of that. And so this time around with this weight loss journey, instead of thinking about it as like, oh, I gotta go to the gym 4 times a week, or oh, I gotta stop eating sugar, or oh, I gotta walk. No, I am the kind of person who does the kinds of things to lose weight. Losing weight is simply the natural byproduct of the things that I do. I am the kind of person who does the kinds of things to get what I want. What does that mean? I am somebody who is active. I move my body on a daily basis. I wear my Apple Watch, and again, I'll be honest and say that I'm still working my way there. I can be very extreme. I can be very impulsive. I can be very all or nothing. And I'm like trying to find the balance of that this time, where again, I can just go from 0 to 1,000 and then back to 0. And I'm like really working on what does it look like to make habits that are sustainable, but also that challenge me. Like I often go back and forth with like, losing weight should be sustainable, so I'm gonna have a sweet treat every single night, or like I'm gonna eat what I want. And it's like, but by doing that, by eating what you want when you want, by having a sweet treat whenever you want, like that kind of defeats the whole purpose. And so I keep saying trying, but I'm finding a balance between the two. And so for me, my minimum step count every single day is 8,000 steps, period. I have to get 8,000 steps every single day, whether I go to the gym or not. Going to the gym helps that, but 8,000 steps a day, period. And then I have to go to the gym at least at the bare minimum. I have to do an intentional workout 3 times a week. That's more than walking. I'll walk every day, but I have to do some kind of strength training, weightlifting, group exercise class at least 3 times a week. And I want to work my way up to 5, but again, I'm like, if I do 5, I'm not. Which also brings me to my other point of, if you are somebody who is losing weight, if you are somebody who has quit more times than you can count, if you have gained and lost weight more times than you can count, starting off, you have to start off embarrassingly small. And so for me, I do feel like it's a little bit different, because I honestly am I'm already a very active person. And so getting 8,000 steps a day is not, that's not beyond something that I can do and that I feel like I can do. It's not that much of a stretch for me to do it. But if you're somebody who's like, I'm barely clearing 2,000 steps a day, then maybe we should start with 5. Or maybe we should start with 3, right? Because another thing that I think one of the reasons why people quit when it comes to like losing weight is simply a skill that you need to build. That is it. Like if you were to break it down all the way down to the bare minimum, like past the level of identity and past like the habits that you're trying to build, you have to break it down so simply for yourself. Like I was telling this to a friend who he was talking about how he lost 50 pounds because he was working a job where he was getting like 8 to 10,000 steps a day, but now that he's back working a 9 to 5 where he's in his chair all day, you know, he's not getting his steps in anymore. And he was like, I hate going to the gym, I hate working out, I hate, you know. And I was like, if you are somebody who has grown up overweight, if you are somebody who has grown up not being active, like you got to understand that it is simply a practice. You have practiced being inactive, you have practiced being sedentary, and that's why you're so good at it. That's why you think about exercise and you're like, oh my God, like this looks like awful. You haven't practiced it yet. That's all it is. And not only that, going a step further of that, you haven't built the skill or the confidence in yourself that you can do these things. And so what I was telling him is I was like, all right, so first day, what I want you to do is I want you to put your shoes on. That's it. Put your exercise shoes on one day. That's it. How stupid would you feel doing that? You would feel stupid, but like you did it. And so you do that and you're like, oh, I can do that. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point of doing things embarrassingly small, right? And this is what the book Atomic Habits is all about, is like how can you take your big goal of losing 50 pounds and break it down so microscopic that there is absolutely no way that you can't do it. Can you put on your shoes, yes or no? Quickly. You can. So put on your shoes. All right, cool. The next day I told him, I was like, I want you to put on your shoes. And then he like in his building that he lives in, he has a gym. I said, I want you to put on your shoes and I want you to walk down to the gym. Take a look around. That's it. Put your shoes on and then go down to the gym. Take a look around. Can you do that? Cool. Cool. That next day, put your shoes on, go down to the gym, and I want you to walk 5 minutes on your treadmill. 5 minutes on that treadmill. And then what's going to happen is you are starting to build that muscle that you can trust yourself, that you can believe in yourself, and that you can keep your word. Because what happens when we are starting a weight loss journey and we have like 50, 60, or even 30 pounds to lose, we're like, all right, cool. I'm cutting out sweets. I'm cutting out sugar. I'm cutting out bread. I'm cutting out soda. I'm going to the gym 6 days a week for 3 hours. I'm doing all this stuff. You're going from 0 to 1,000. You are already setting yourself up for failure because you have not built the skill. That's it. It's not that you're not someone who can't work out. It's not that you're not someone who can't lose weight. I'm on a roll. It's not that you're someone who can't do this. You simply have not built the skill. So when you start embarrassingly small, what you're doing is you're telling your brain, I can do this. So then what also happens is, like, you might be somebody who, you put your shoes on, you go downstairs to the gym, you're on that treadmill for 5 minutes. Hey, if you're someone who's like, I did my 5 minutes, that's it, cool. But if you're like most people, you're going to be like, oh, I can do more than 5. 5 was the bare minimum. You did what you had to do. You did what you had to do for the day, but you might do more. Cool. Next day, let's do 10 minutes. Because mind you, the day before, you probably already did 10. So that 10 minutes, piece of cake. I'm hopping on the treadmill. I'm putting my shoes on, going down to the gym, doing 10 minutes. Now I'm 4 days in and I'm feeling myself because I did what the hell I said I was going to do every single day. And that's how you do it. That's how you lose the weight. That's how you start creating content. For me, the reason why YouTube always felt so like just impossible, so big, was because I was always trying to do these super high produced videos when all I need is me and the camera. Babe, I just got off the gym. I got a pimple on my face. I'm sweaty. Hair hasn't even been done, but I'm doing it. I'm showing up because this is, to me, is starting embarrassingly small. So then one day when I have built up the muscle and I built up the money and that I can hire an editor, then maybe you'll see higher produced videos. But in order for me to start showing up and showing up every single day, I had to start embarrassingly small. Embarrassingly small. So when I say, have you really tried everything? Have you really, I really hope that this page, that my content just reignites your fire and makes you feel more capable to do what the hell that you want to do. Because again, I'm going to break it down to say it is simply a practice. That is all. Like if you can break it down and say, I simply have not built the skill yet to do what I want to do, that is it. You are skill building, period. That's it. So those are all my notes. This is a 16-minute long video, period. And look, I started this video very and I got myself on that role. And I'm just speaking out loud how freaking proud of myself I am for doing this, because that was something that I always wanted to do. I always wanted just to do like a no-cut video, or just like go live and just start talking about things. But like, I get very in my head when I speak. And so, but I also realize that it is just a practice. Just like I just said, it is a practice. I have not practiced talking without cuts. I haven't practiced just showing up in this way. I haven't practiced not giving a damn about what I look like and if my voice is gone and if I just came from the gym. I haven't practiced it yet, but I'm practicing it now. You understand me? You feel me? You feel me? Okay? So, yeah, girl. I want you to ask yourself the question. This video touched on, I think, two very, very different but similar topics. That's not the time. Why does it say 11? Did we just have daylight savings? No. Why are you behind? It's 12:30. I gotta be at the library in an hour. I started this video by saying, have you done everything in your power to reach the goals that you have? And if you have not reached the goals, that means you have not tried everything. And in this next time, okay, so that's how they came together. Okay, cool. In this next time that you are trying, that you are going after your goals, in this next time that you are going after your goals, I want you to make your steps embarrassingly small. I want you to make it a no-brainer that you can, or that you can't. Hold on. I want you to make it a no-brainer that you can show up and that you can do the thing. Okay? So if you're watching this video and you maybe want some examples of like, what does that look like? Feel free to drop a comment. Like, what are your goals? And give them to me as big as you got them. I don't care. And we can break it down. Have you done everything in your power? And I can guarantee you that you have not. But you have not simply because you have not built the skill. That's it. Not because you are incapable, not because you're stupid or dumb, not because there's something inherently wrong with you. There is nothing, and I'm talking to myself too, there is nothing inherently wrong with you. You simply have not built the skill. You are made for so much more than your current reality, and you know this. That is why this video came to you. That is why you feel like 5'5", period. That's why you feel like you can't give up on your goals and on your dreams, is because you are made for more. And you know that you are made for more. Whoever is bumping, how do y'all enjoy music when it's that loud? Regardless, I gotta go. Have the best freaking day. You got this. I love you. Bye. Actually, okay, this is coming up. So quick context. So I have a talk show that I miss dearly, but there was an ending that I would always say in that talk show, and for some reason it's coming up for me to say it right now. I don't want to though. I'll do it, whatever. Okay, and this is my end now. So go out there and do something your future self will thank you for and your past self will love you for. Peace. Bye.